Welcome back. In our last video, we discussed a few things about the play named The Proposal. The topics we have already discussed are the title, the theme, the characters, and the setting. We have also discussed about a one-act play, what a one-act play is. Now let's focus today on the plot first. The plot of this one-act play can be divided into 6 parts. First, introduction. What do we see in the introductory part of the play is that Lomov, wearing a formal dress, enters. Chubukov warmly accepts him. Chubukov wants to know why Lomov is in formal attire or dress. Why Lomov is formally dressed, Chubukov asks Lomov. Lomov says he has come with a marriage proposal. He wants to marry Chubukov's daughter, and this results in Chubukov's joy. He expresses joy, he is delighted. He tells him to wait, and he assures Lomov that Natalia, his daughter, that is Chubukov's daughter, will surely accept this proposal. So that's where the introductory part ends. Next comes rising action. When Natalia comes, Lomov fails to tell her his real purpose, why he has come to this house, and they end up in arguing about their property, that is, the Oxen Meadows. It belongs to whom? Then, in the middle of this altercation, Chubukov enters and he tells Lomov that the meadows actually belong to the Chubukovs, thus causing the problem to rise. Lomov is cursed and driven away. Next part of the plot is crisis and suspense. Here we see Chubukov telling Natalia about Lomov's purpose of visit in formal attire. For the first time, Natalia here knows the real purpose of Lomov's coming. Upon knowing this, Natalia is hysterical and she asks Chubukov to bring him back. Lomov struggles because of his palpitation. He comes back, says to Natalia, what he exactly said is that he said, I did it on principle. And he also said, my land is worth little to me. The next part of the plot is climax. Natalia feels sorry, admits that the Oxen Meadows are Lomov's property, and she wants to change the topic, wishing that Lomov will proceed to his proposal. But the two start arguing again, this time about their dogs. Which one is superior, Lomov's case or Natalia's Squeezer. These are the names of the two dogs. Shubukov again enters and he is asked by both to say which dog is better. Shubukov says that both are good, but then he again loses temper and says, I will shoot you. He says this to Lomov. I will shoot you like a partridge. And the argument continues. Next come to the falling action. Shubukov wants the commotion to stop, and he helps Lomov to return to his purpose of visiting the mansion. Lomov's suffering again returns, thinks he is unable to breathe. Shubukov mimics Lomov's every word, and finally we see Lomov losing consciousness. Then the last part is resolution, how the play ends. Natalia, seeing Lomov faint, thinks he's dead, and she starts crying. Shubukov helps Lomov to get back consciousness. Shubukov becomes desperate and says to Lomov, hurry up and get married. That's actually what he said. He said this on behalf of his daughter. He accepts the proposal too. And he says, on behalf of his daughter, he says, she's willing. Lomov's reaction here is funnier, as he says, what? To whom? Natalia herself says, yes, I am willing. Lomov kisses her hand and says, oh, now I understand. My heart, stars, I'm happy. They again start arguing about their dogs. Shubukov desperately wants peace, asks for champagne. So, as we have already discussed, there were two arguments that took place in the play. The first one was about the Oxen Meadows. Belong to whom? Oxen Meadows is a piece of land that falls between Shubukov's birch wood and Lomov's burnt marsh. This is, as one of the characters said, this is not worth much. This bit of land comes to only 5 desiatins, that is 13.5 acres, worth perhaps 300 rubles, according to Natalia. Action rises when Lomov and Natalia start arguing over the right to it. That is, which family owns this part. Neither Natalia can stand unfairness. I'm quoting Natalia. She cannot stand unfairness, nor Lomov can stop acting on principle. This time I'm quoting Lomov. And Lomov says he can even gift it to Natalia. And we see that Shubukov too gets involved, and he says, the meadows are ours. The heated argument leads to Lomov being driven away. Shubukov goes to the extent of saying, "Don't set foot in my house again." So that's the first argument. Next, come to the second argument. It's about the superiority of one dog. Which dog is better? The context, what leads to this argument, is hunting. As Natalia deliberately changes the topic from the ownership of that particular land to this topic, that is hunting. Lomov says his hound Guess has gone lame, but still this dog is a class apart or outstanding, and he bought this dog from Mironov at 125 rubles. Natalia says her squeezer is heaps better, though bought at 85 rubles. This dog is young and therefore may develop. It has a chance to develop. And this dog is of better pedigree. Lomov says it's overshot, that is a jaw defect. And because of this, it's a bad hunter and worth 25 rubles at most, and this angers Natalia. Natalia says she does not like people like Lomov who doesn't say what they think. Guess is silly, half dead, squeezer is 100 times better. This argument leads to Lomov's palpitation. Shubukov acknowledges Guess is good but has defects. It has grown old. It's short in the muzzle, that is the projected part of face. And now Lomov falls sick again. So that's the second argument. Next, come to the sketch of social life. This is the next topic. The play dramatizes a slice of the 19th century middle-class Russian society. Marriage is here seen as a social necessity. Marriage is for social status and economic stability. This society pays no heed to love, romance, passion, emotion, and personal desires. This society, the society depicted here, is primarily agricultural, where owning a land is of great importance. Therefore, the argument over the oxen meadows continues. All are proud of huge wealth. Therefore, they fight over the comparative superiority of Guess and Squeezer. And in this society, there is another thing that must be mentioned that is that in this society, for a girl to get married is of great importance, and the father of that daughter too feels relieved when the marriage is fixed. And we have three characters. We will discuss the three characters in the next video.